that? I don't know. I've never heard of him. So you did hear Trump is running in 2024? No, but I saw it. Do you think he'll win a third term? I don't know, it'll be tough. He's got a pretty uphill battle from all angles. What do you mean? Well, so many people trying to sabotage him from the other side, his own party, the media, the
All right, so let's see what I should got for us today. Yes, JP, let's do it. Awaken with JP. Yeah.
Here we go.
What's the title of this one?
This is When You Hear Trump is Running in 2024.
All right, let's do it.
Hey! Did you hear Trump officially announced he's running for president in 2024? Never heard of him. You've never heard of Trump? Oh, I thought you said Mike Pence. Who's that? I don't know. I've never heard of him. So you did hear Trump is running in 2024? No, but I saw it. Do you think he'll win a third term? I don't know, it'll be tough. He's got a pretty uphill battle from all angles. What do you mean? Well, so many people trying to sabotage him from the other side, his own party, the media, the deep state. And he'll have a really tough opponent that I don't know if he can beat. Tough opponent he might not be able to beat. Biden? No. Kamala? No. Gavin Newsom? Nope. Well, who's the tough opponent that you don't know if he'll be able to beat? The election system. Ah, yes, a real Goliath. You know how we're not...
I'm sorry.
All right, we may not.
I don't like to start laughing on live streams like this.
It's okay. It's all right. We can laugh. Laughing is fine. We just may not want to comment on it. That's all I'm saying.
The truth feels so good that all I can do is laugh. But look at this thing. Like, look at how this ship is turning around. I'm just sitting there watching. It's like Titanic 2.0. And right? I'm like, you've done all this to the guy.
Oh, yeah.
You've done messed him up and called him all type of names, and it's like he's coming back around like a dragon. Like,
oh yeah,
I can only imagine like what it's like to be those anti-Trumpers. Like, oh, we gotta get rid of him ASAP because he says he's running, and he's like, and I heard all these guys that are going in the election saying we're running. And I'm like, you're running so you can stop him?
Yeah, good luck with that.
You got the wrong motive at heart. You gonna win? Like, have you seen his Twitter account? I'm like, I'm gonna vote, right? And I'm sitting there looking at these people like, yo. And I've learned this a long time ago. Don't you ever crucify your man because you disagree with him, even if the man is religious, non-religious, no matter how crazy. If you crucify him, this is what you end up doing. You create a warrior. Yeah, you turn into a martyr, you create a warrior out of him. It's the same thing we did with Jesus. It's like, the more you spoke about, the more the Jews went after Jesus and like called him all these nasty names, and they nailed him on a cross, and we have no king but Caesar. And then 3 days later, Jesus resurrected. It's like, oh my goodness, we out. Because the truth is, don't you realize the more you went after him is the more you make him stronger and even more powerful. The more attention he gets, the more his fan base grows. You went after his home, you attacked him, you go after his character. And while you're doing all of this, doing the election season, and let's talk about the Clinton and so on. Let's leave that alone.
Right.
But all of that, and here are the independent, like people like myself, who is just sitting back and say, so this man is bad, he's guilty. What has he done so wrong? And we're looking at all that and we're like, wow, you went after his house? Whoa, you call him all this nasty name, get out of here. And next thing I'm like, I love him more. I love him more. Thank you, because you teaching me to love him. Because the more you go after and persecute him, is the more I sympathize with him, because I'm asking the big question, why do you hate him so much? So therefore, your narrative must be false, because if he was all that you said he was, how come you haven't caught him and locked him up and put him behind bars this far? So this tells me all this witch hunt nonsense you've been doing, what you don't realize, you're actually making Trump bigger than he has ever been. And I'm like, it's best you just like you said before, just pay him no mind and let him fade away. You went after his account. You shut down his Twitter account. I mean, I'm sitting here like, yep, you done. You done.
I mean, yeah.
I'm telling you, only God can stop Trump from winning the election in 2024. Only God can stop it because his fan base is so strong now. He's getting blacks, Hispanic, independent. People are more sympathizing with Trump now than ever before.
And it's like the saying goes, you may strike me down, but I will become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
And the thing is, Trump has gotten better. His language is polished. He doesn't even need a teleprompter. The man is making more sense.
He's never needed it. Honestly, he's never needed a teleprompter.
He's never needed one. Yeah, he never actually had to use one. But I'm listening to him now. I'm like, yo, now he had the business attitude before. Now he has the business plus the diplomatic, the understanding, a little bit of wisdom. He knows how far to push, how much to put on how much to push the gas, slow down, tap your brake. He's doing it. I'm listening to his speech. I'm like, this brother here.
Now he knows how to play the game.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And I'm like, oh, I hope they're ready. I hope they're all ready. Look what they've done.
I guarantee you they're not.
they better get ready because they did this.
They are not ready for the retribution that's coming their way.
Have mercy. I had to laugh and pause and laugh because I couldn't help. He said this. I mean, all right, let's continue. Sorry.
You're perfectly fine.
Not allowed to talk about what happened with that from the last election? Well, I think the fact that we're not allowed to talk about that is evidence that no evidence exists. I mean, trying to hide something through censorship typically means there's nothing to hide from what we're told. That's where we're at, isn't it? The fear that controls me compels me to agree with that. But what human do you think will run against President Trump for president in the futuristic sounding year of 2024? Well, I think it'll be a complex scenario where at first they'll pretend Hunter's dad is gonna run. But once his approval ratings fall below 1%, they'll pretend they're just now finding out about his ability to have no cognitive abilities. But they'll never admit it. They'll just make up a story that he wants to retire and relax so he can do what he's already doing, except he won't be called president.
He is so on point. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Exactly.
This is prophetic because you remember the sons, what I mean? Before we were not allowed to Russian disinformation, right? But later on, at the appropriate time, it was allowed
it's
to
accurate.
be
It's true.
about. But today we're saying something is wrong mentally based on the evidence. Something is not adding up. This man is not speaking the way he's supposed to. He's not making sense. He's falling asleep. He's tired. And I've been in this
turning the wrong direction and trying to shake hands with air.
Shaking hands. And we've been saying that. We're like, well, please, nothing's wrong. All is well. And then later on, they're going to say, oh, yeah, something is wrong. It's like, oh, duh, you are late for the party. we've had the party.
We've been telling you this for the last 4 years.
What? Now you catching up to this? Like, duh.
Please.
These people.
People, please.
People, please. Go ahead.
And then Kamala. You think they'll have her run? No. They'll manufacture a story about why she's not running. Probably something like, well, she's terrible and nobody likes her, which will hide the reality that she's really terrible and everyone hates her. Do you think they'll be able to pull off a lie that big? Yeah. And then what? In comes Gavin Newsom with his strong track record of increasing the homeless population, decreasing the housed population, and him putting more small businesses out of business than anyone else in America. They'll position him to run against Trump, as he's clearly the most qualified for the job. I can't wait to be homeless. But before that, what about Trump versus DeSantis? Good point. Polls that have polled people who take part in polls are polling favorably for DeSantis, who I love. But what? The fact that the establishment, including rhino-reptilian hybrids like Mitch McConnell, will do everything in their power to stop Trump from getting back into office by automatically backing DeSantis makes me suspicious. Why do you think Trump insulted DeSantis recently? Probably because he wanted to. That makes sense. While DeSantis is implied
So, little
How about that?
little story on that. Trump found out some information.
That even his wife doesn't know about.
No, not just that.
To top it off?
To top that off,
No, stop.
DeSantis has been meeting with a Republican super PAC behind his back about a possible 2024 presidential bid for the establishment.
So, which means there is going to be exactly what JP is saying. There's going to be a division within the party.
Possibly.
I can see even the Democrats sponsoring and supporting DeSantis. Anything to get rid of Trump, the goal. Yeah, we're going to have a rumble real soon because I want to be able to speak my mind fully.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the video.
Just
saying.
he won't run against Trump in the Republican primary, he's also implied that he might imply something different as time goes on. What if he does run against Trump? Well, that would be good news because then it would further divide the GOP, which is already struggling with division. How would that be good? Well, it would be really good for the left, which already has 95% of the media on their side, the White House, the Senate, censorship, and big tech. But on the bright side, it would be really bad for the GOP. So you're saying division and infighting within David wouldn't help them defeat Goliath? Weirdly, I don't think it would. But the diversity gets even tougher for Trump. How so? Well, many Republican mega donors who have backed Trump in previous elections have just come out and said that they won't back Trump in this run with their donations. Well, if they won't donate, are they really mega donors? Good point.
And if they're not backing Trump, who do you think they're backing?
Oh boy.
You see? Now is what I said earlier makes sense.
That is crazy, yo. I'm telling you, the word, I want to zoom on that word, K-fade. K-A-Y-F-A-D-E. This is, look it up, look up the word K-fade. You get the understanding of what's going on here. This is dirty business.
It's very.
I tell you, boy. Whew, I love it, though. I love it because the drama is exciting.
Right?
It still is.
It's like, it's like, man, we're in for one wild ride.
Yeah, I can't wait. Lord, please keep me alive till 2024 because things can happen any moment now. But Lord, please, because I got to live to see with my eyes. Oh, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna sit there and watch and watch and watch.
Oh, they're gonna be fireworks. Believe. You better believe.
Oh, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be so great. Oh Lord. I can't believe.
Just wanted to point that little section out there that says his major donors that helped him in the first one are no longer helping him in the second one.
Trusting the wrong kind of people. But the thing is, Mr. Trump has figured that out. What they failed to realize is coming from another angle now, very different than he did at first. He's learned from his mistakes. So I'm really anxious to figure out how this is going to be played out. Mitch McConnell.
And the fact that they don't need him. Trump doesn't need them.
The fan base. Talking about Hangover Gang. They don't realize that his supporters, they are growing. This is where they make a huge mistake.
Yeah. And like, I understand a lot of people like DeSantis, but it's I think putting DeSantis against Trump is going to be a huge mistake if the Republican Party does that.
No, I like DeSantis as a governor, but I don't see DeSantis as a president. At least maybe not yet.
Which
And
makes,
I have a lot
well,
of
my
questions now.
yeah, exactly. That's and it's like, well, why is it all of a sudden the establishment wants to back DeSantis?
Yeah, that is weird. Apart from the fact, very similar to the previous election with Mr. Hunter's father,
Mm-hmm.
who was, somebody would say, not elected but selected.
Yeah.
Nevertheless,
with Mr. Brandon.
Mm-hmm. So Mr. Brandon has gotten elected simply because Trump was not supposed to be elected. So I'm wondering, is this going to be another tactic? There's no new thing under the sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Anyway, before we
Yeah.
get too far down that rabbit hole,
Yeah, we saved that. We saved that discussion for Rumble.
all right.
Point. But aside from the obstacles presented to Trump by infighting within his own party, he's also got the obstacles thrown at him from his political opposition. Like what? The Russia collusion hoax. I thought Hillary was being honest about that. The January 6th committee. Oh, that's not legit? The FBI raiding Mar-a-Lago. I thought it was normal in democracies for the federal government to weaponize their agencies against their political opposition. And then you have TDS. TDS? Yeah, Trump derangement syndrome. It's like mass formation psychosis, except it's the same and specifically about Trump. I hear that's a very rampant condition spread by TVs. Yeah, so far there's no cure. It renders parts of the brain almost completely useless. Yeah, I heard Pfizer's working on a cure to give it to people that don't have it. It'll be nice to have that cure forced on us too. Speaking of which, if there was one weak point about Trump, his effective energy independence track record? No. Him creating the securest border in recent history? No. The economy booming when it was under his watch? No. But admittedly, he wasn't very good at causing inflation. Well, what is it? Him seemingly being out of touch with his base as he still touts Operation Warp Speed and all that it stood for. Yeah.
That's crazy.
What do you...
Yo, you noticed the people who are in opposition to Trump have not been able to, in any way, tell the people anything that is really negative in his presidency or his works and the things he did while in office,
or even anything he said. Like, the people say, "Oh well, he's racist," and like, okay, give
Prove
me
it.
one example.
Prove it.
Yeah, give me one example of anything he's said or done that's racist. And I'm waiting. I'm still waiting to hear anything.
Patiently.
Like,
yeah, it's true. I'm thinking about that now. I'm like, they never prove anything.
I mean, for crying out loud, there's pictures of him getting awards for Humanitarian of the Year from Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton.
But you know what they said when it comes to J6 concerning how he was fanning the flame regarding storming the Capitol and so on,
which is completely just the opposite.
Yeah, but I went on his Twitter page, which was open, and the last tweet that he had on the exact date at 3:31 we're saying, let's be peaceful.
Make your voices heard in a peaceful manner and respect our police officers in blue.
That's interesting, because during the whole January 6th committee, I don't ever remember hearing that being read.
That would be detrimental to their case.
I get it now.
See, that's why those can't be brought
up.
Good
there's a good word in the Bible for that. We call it hypocrisy.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get back to JP. Mercy.
I think that was about? Well, I think it comes down to the guy's not perfect. That seems like a realistic perspective that would be in my worst interest not to consider. Yeah, it's kind of like if you had a baby and you were giving it a bath, and every once in a while it shits in the bathwater. You wouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Exactly. You'd use your bare hand and grab the poop out of the bathwater and put it in your wife's slipper and continue bathing the baby in the same bathwater because you're already pressed for time and it's just quicker this way, like a good parent is supposed to. I think you lost me on that analogy. It wasn't an analogy, it was a metaphor. Well, that explains nothing. You're welcome. And the point is, have you ever considered that with Operation Warp Speed, as disagreeable as the move was to his entire base, that the move could have been Trump playing 5D chess against the global elites who are very hysterically threatened by him, because he's uncontrollable relative to their agenda of imposing draconian communism onto the entirety of humanity, facilitated through their fear-mongering about disease and climate while intimidating about equity in order to foster compliance with their policies that rob individuals of their...
Oh, you gotta let him finish the rant.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to back it up a little bit, but JP is on fire right now. Do you hear what he's saying? We can talk all day on that, but there's so much he just said here in this piece, but I'm just gonna let it run. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, he gets out of roll here.
Yeah, this is like, is actually giving you the conclusion in a sense, you know. Woo, boy, no, he didn't just say that.
Oh yeah, he went there.
threatened by him, because he's uncontrollable relative to their agenda of imposing draconian communism onto the entirety of humanity, facilitated through their fear-mongering about disease and climate while intimidating about equity in order to foster compliance with their policies that rob individuals of their sovereignty and power while handing it over to the globalists. Yes, I have considered that. Me too. Just a thought. What were we talking about? Wait. Trump announced
JP's been wanting to say this for such a long time,
right?
This is one of those things that's been in his heart. He's like,
can I say this fast enough so that the algorithm doesn't pick up on it?
Have you ever seen those commercials? Those you know, those different pharmaceutical commercials where they're talking about the medicine.
Yep. And then they get to the side effects, and then it's like
the most important part that I need to hear carefully, slowly.
Yep.
I'm like, no, wait, slow down, because this is a matter of life and death right here.
Well, wait a minute. What? I heard something in there that did not sound good. What was it? What was it? Back up.
Did you say heart attack? Did you say blood clot? You know?
Did you say possible side effect may cause death? What? No.
You just painted a good 2 minutes, a good minute and 56 seconds talking about how great this thing is. And the last 4 seconds that I need to hear the substance that I need to be aware of to make sure that I'm not dead tomorrow. You run through that so quickly. Like, let's not do that to me. But I know. But JP, oh boy. I'm telling you, he's been thinking about this. I can see in all these videos he's been wanting to say this, and this was his opportunity. He is getting his voice. JP is he's turning up the volume somewhat, but he's doing it in a way that is very well thought out. I appreciate that. Yeah. Can you run that back one more time? I just want to digest on that. I won't comment this time, but I just want to digest on that a little bit more. That was powerful.
I think you lost me on that analogy. It wasn't an analogy, it was a metaphor. Well, that explains nothing. You're welcome. And the point is, have you ever considered that with Operation Warp Speed, as disagreeable as the move was to his entire base, that the move could have been Trump playing 5D chess against the global elites who are very hysterically threatened by him, because he's uncontrollable relative to their agenda of imposing draconian communism onto the entirety of humanity, facilitated through their fear-mongering about disease and climate while intimidating about equity in order to foster compliance with their policies that rob individuals of their sovereignty and power while handing it over to the globalists. Yes, I have considered that. Me.
My Lord.
And he's so on point because all that stuff went away when Trump was in president. I'm just saying.
I got a strike that's coming out of my YouTube channel in maybe 5 days, and then I'll share my opinion on that one. Because
No,
I got a fan
we'll save
base.
it. We'll save it for Rumble.
We'll save it for Rumble because
please, anybody watching, just remember we will be doing a live stream on Rumble where we can actually speak freely.
We shall save those thoughts for another discussion because I got too much love and respect for the people on my channel, and we're building a good relationship right now. I can't afford to lose you. Okay, I can't.
So make notes.
It's not worth losing you. Okay,
right?
Yeah, let's just leave it at that. Let's go on.
Too. Just a thought. What were we talking about? Trump announcing that he's running for president in 2024. Oh yeah, exciting times. I'm sure people in Arizona can't wait to vote, I bet. Well, I gotta go. I want to check in and see how the media is honestly reporting on Trump's candidacy in a completely unbiased way that's aligned with the principles of true journalists, because that's what they are. I'm sure that's exactly what you'll find. Oh, quick question. At the rate that the Build Back Better plan is destroying everything in its path in a way that makes it better, do you think time will still exist in 2024? Probably not. Well then, how will we know when it's time to vote? Start counting the days.
Oh my Lord, what are we gonna do with JP, yo? Just JP. Oh, where did this guy come from? There's a lot of thinking going on. It's almost like all the news headline that I've read is in the past 2 weeks are compacting this. It's like, yeah, I just read that. Yeah, I did a video. Oh yeah, duh. Like boy.
Wait, what? No, I slow down. I gotta
Please stop. Can I digest a little bit?
Rewind. I gotta hear that again.
Oh,
okay,
this is so great.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah. Okay. You gotta be able to keep up with JP. He is just, oh boy, I tell you. I feel sorry for those anti-Trumpers.
Yeah, Megan, we've seen coming. You've put a couple in the reaction requests that we're definitely saving for Rumble.
yeah. If we don't get to it, part of the reason could be because we like, these guys, these gatekeepers here. We gotta be careful with them. They are hungry dogs. Let's just put it that way. But I'll tell you what, the truth, I'll tell you what, they can't. I'm so glad because you can't stop the truth. And that's the beautiful thing about all of this is that I'm just going to share a quotation. His name is John Wycliffe. Let me see if I can find him quick. I mean, you can give your summary on JP in the meantime, but
like whenever he makes a video, he's always on point. He's always got his facts straight, and he knows what he's talking about. Like, not just his comedy skits, but even his reactions. And I can appreciate that, like, really, really well.
Yeah.
And that's what I think I like about him the most is not only is he funny, but he's funny with the side of sarcasm and tongue in cheek.
Yeah. Is that he has mastered the art of comedy while doing it in a really constructive, believable, interactive, but very informative way. Like I really appreciate the way JP has mastered to do that. I really love that. Oh, that is beautiful. Over there. Yeah, his name is John Wycliffe. He He lived in a early, somewhere in the 17th century. No, early 10th, around there, 1300s.
Mhm.
So he lived. He was actually a Roman Catholic, and but he left Catholicism after reading the Bible. He was a schoolmaster, and he actually waged war against Catholicism and the abuses of their power and so on. I say that to say this because he made a statement that I always remember that he said in all of his writings, and he wasn't killed, but they were trying to kill him,
Mm.
but he had a disease. He started shaking completely. Literally, he died before they had a chance to kill him, but because of his view.
Sounds
Good.
like it
It's
might be Parkinson's.
yeah. It was Parkinson. He started um, he had the spasm and so on. But it's good to study him
Very,
because
very similar to what I have.
yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. But this is what he said. I just wanted to say this. This is what he said. By the way, this was said. This was during a time when both the popes and the kings were messing. You know, they were in bed together. And John Wycliffe says, "I believe in the end, the truth will conquer." And these were like the words that he left behind, knowing that you can do whatever you want to do, say whatever you want to say, try to shut down people who disagree with you, say this and say that about people, malign their character. In the end, the truth will conquer.
It always does.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who supports what, transgender this, abortion that, politicals this, anti-Trump that. For at the end, the truth will conquer. And if you don't know who the truth is, go to John chapter 14, verse 6. Christ
I
is.
am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
That's it.